Have you ever stopped to think that your thoughts aren't just there, that they're not just passively watching your health from the sidelines, but are actually the architects of it? Well, today we're diving into this whole idea, exploring the incredible power of your mind and how it really acts as a conductor, channeling your energy to either build you up or, well, break you down.
So let's just start with a really direct question, kind of a gut check. Right now, in this moment, are your thoughts acting like a solid foundation for your strength, or do you feel like they're kind of chipping away at your resilience? Because as we're about to see, there's a real science to how all of this works.
You know that feeling, right? That constant buzz in your head, the worries, the to-do lists, the little bits of self-criticism that just leaves you feeling totally exhausted by the end of the day? That is not just in your head. It's a real, scientifically described process, and it actually has a name: psychological entropy.
Okay, so let's break this down. Think of psychological entropy like a clean, organized room that, if you just leave it alone, slowly gets messy over time. It's our mind's natural tendency to drift away from order and slide into disorder. And when that happens, our mental energy just scatters everywhere. We're left feeling confused, unstable, and honestly, just wiped out. It's like losing your internal compass and not knowing which way is north anymore.
And this entropy, this mental messiness, can show up in a bunch of different ways. It can be that constant mental noise we just talked about, or it can be something called cognitive dissonance, that really uncomfortable feeling you get when your actions don't line up with your values. It creates this inner friction. It can also feel like emotional turbulence, or that sense of existential drift, where you're just kind of like, what's the point? It can even lead to a loss of self-control, where you feel like you're just reacting to life instead of actually directing it.
But here is the most important part, the real game changer. This is not a one-way street to chaos, not at all. Thought is an active, incredibly powerful force. It has this dual nature, and the most empowering part is that you can learn to direct it. You can actually become the conductor of your own inner world. And this slide lays out the two different paths your thoughts can take perfectly. On one side, we've got anabolic thought. Think anabolic like building muscle. This kind of thinking literally builds your potential, it brings clarity, and it creates that stable, coherent internal state your body needs to heal. And then on the other side, you've got catabolic thought. This is the stuff that breaks things down. It erodes your potential, it fuels that nagging self-doubt, and it scatters your precious energy into disorder.
So, let's take a closer look at that path of disorder first. This is where our potential just gets drained away. How exactly does this catabolic way of thinking actively unravel our strength and scatter our focus? This quote is such a powerful way to get it. Imagine all your energy and focus are like a tight, focused beam of light. Well, catabolic thought is like a cracked lens. It takes that powerful beam and just scatters it in a million different directions. It literally disperses your personal power, leaving you feeling unfocused, depleted, and just not very effective in your own life.
Now let's flip the coin and talk about the other side, the path of order. This is the constructive alternative. Anabolic thought is the active process of creating mental order, of building resilience, and channeling your energy in a really focused, powerful way.
I absolutely love this analogy of an architect. See, anabolic thought isn't just about thinking positive, it's about being intentional. It's about organizing all of your body's resources, your hormones, your nervous system, your immune response, and directing them with a blueprint toward building a solid foundation of health and vitality. Okay, this is where it gets really fascinating. How does this whole mental game actually translate into physical reality? Because every single thought, whether it's anabolic or catabolic, triggers a direct biological response in your body. Just look at this incredible contrast here. When you're stuck in that catabolic state, you're worrying, you're ruminating. Your body is flooded with stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline. Your nervous system goes on high alert, it's hypervigilant, and your immunity, it just takes a nosedive. That cortisol actually weakens your immune cells. But when you shift into an anabolic state, the total opposite happens. Your hormones find their balance, your nervous system becomes calm and adaptable, and your immune response is actually enhanced. The difference is just night and day.
So if there's one thing to really let sink in, it's this. Your psychology is not separate from your physiology. They are one and the same. Every single thought you have is a biological act that is either pushing your body toward disorder and disease or guiding it toward order and healing.
All right, so the theory makes sense, right? But how do we actually put this into practice? How do we actively cultivate this state of coherence and start building more of these anabolic thought patterns in our day-to-day lives?
This is a beautifully simple framework to get started. Let's walk through it. First, every morning you choose your thermostat. This just means picking one focus for the day. Is it going to be your breath, movement, nutrition, or finding meaning? Simple. Second, sometime midday, take a quick alignment pause. Just ask yourself, are my actions today aligned with what I really value? If not, what's one tiny thing I can adjust? And finally, when you feel that stress starting to bubble up, you use the resilience reset. This can be as simple as taking 3 slow, deep breaths or stretching for 1 minute. It's not about avoiding stress. It's about training your ability to consciously shift your state when you need to.
And that really brings us to a whole new way of looking at resilience. It's not about being some kind of fortress that stress can't touch. It's about being flexible, like a tree that can bend in a storm and not break. It's about building that internal rhythm that lets you deal with challenges, release the tension, and always find your way back to balance.
This quote just sums it all up so perfectly. Physical strength is great, it's so important, but enduring health, real healing, that comes from the mind. It comes from cultivating wisdom, from creating that internal coherence between what we think and what we do, and from living with clear, powerful intention.
So, I'll leave you with this question. Forget about trying to overhaul your entire mindset overnight. That's overwhelming. Instead, just think about one small, conscious act of alignment you can choose to do today. Maybe it's that 1-minute resilience reset. Maybe it's choosing one nourishing meal. What is one tiny step you can take right now to start turning a little bit of that chaos into clarity?